lead us in our prayer. Commissioner Goins is going to lead us in our pledge.
And pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, commissioners, for that. First order of business, I want to welcome the members, Daniel Beatty, Bobby Goins, Mike Hughes, Tim Mason. I want to thank Gary Davis and his staff for getting this insurance together. And the next item is we need a approval of the October 16th, 2023 minutes of the last insurance committee meeting.
Second.
I've got a motion from Commissioner Mason and a second by Commissioner Hughes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, at this time, I will turn this over to Mayor Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, everyone. I'll go through the synopsis and then I'll answer any questions that you might have, and I need to also pass out the spreadsheet to you here in just a minute. Each year I ask for a renewal from the current insurance carrier, and usually I report to you that they come in with a 10, 12, 15% increase renewal proposal. We can't agree to what I would consider a more fair rate, so we usually end up going out to bid, and we have bid it. For the record, I say it every year because some people don't believe it, but we have bid it every year for the last 10, 12, 15 years. But this year, Cigna had an offer to renew it, our current agreement, for an annual increase of 3%. So for the first time in many years, I did not put this out to bid this year. Made that clear from the beginning that we were not going out to bid, that I had a renewal I could work with. I continued to negotiate with Cigna for the next several weeks, and we finally reached an agreement of a 1% increase. This is budgeted, so we don't have a problem with the budget. A 1% increase, and that's no changes to option 1, 3, or 4. Anyone on those 3 options, there's no changes. There are 2 options, 2 changes to option 2. One is there every year by law. The plan deductible increases a little bit each year to meet the IRS requirements for an HSA plan. There are 33 people on that plan, 33 out of 550. And also, we have gotten where that all plans except for buy-up are the same network now. And the HSA is not a 1% increase, it's a 2.6% decrease for those people who choose to go with the HSA. Now I'll explain that more in detail too, because we pay parts of that also. With this agreement, the county continues to enjoy a medical plan with no benefits or network disruption, proven long-term benefits, networks, rate stability, and our relationship with Cigna. Cigna, after giving us a pretty good renewal, kind of got aggravated with me this year because I kept coming back wanting to work more on that rate, but we were able to get it at 1%. So therefore, in a nutshell, I'm recommending that we exercise this optional 1-year renewal of our agreement with Cigna for health insurance for county employees. And I'll pass out the spreadsheet similar to what we had last year for you to look at, and I'll try to answer any questions that you might have. As you look at this, option 1, like I said, is no change, except for the 1% increase in price to the taxpayers. Option 2 has the 2 changes that I mentioned. Option 3, the buy-up plan, no change except for the 1%. And then option 4, no change except for the 1%. Option 2 being a 2.6% decrease is a savings to us. It's also a savings on the family plan. The buy-up, well, let's stay with option 2 for just a second. As you well know, we pay for an HSA card. If you take the HSA plan, we've been providing you a $50 card. On that card each month, I think is right. And that is going to $65 this year. So we are increasing the amount that we pay if you take the HSA plan. The buy-up plan, in case you don't know or don't remember, there were some that wanted, originally it started because the network didn't include Memorial. Later it started including Memorial. So the only thing that it does not include now is HCA hospitals, which is Park Ridge, East Ridge, and those doctors associated with HCA doctors also. So the buy-up goes up 40 cents if someone wants to continue to buy up. However, this year, and there are 42 people on this plan, this year the broker has agreed to, I think a lot of people are still on the buy-up plan because they don't take the time and effort to come to the meetings that are offered. Several meetings are offered next month when we start the registration for the next year. You don't have to come unless you want to make changes, so a lot of people don't come. So they don't realize they don't need the buy-up plan. I'm pretty sure most people don't need it, wouldn't really be wanting it if they knew that. So the broker has agreed to actually call each one of these 42 people and say, look, you're in the buy-up plan. The network includes everything except the HCA hospitals and doctors, so do you really want to stay in the buy-up plan? And I think that number will go down once they realize that. The fourth option, that's your direct primary care option, where you take a higher deductible insurance plan, but we pay the monthly subscription, I guess it's called, for the direct primary care. So if you take option 4, you're going to get your direct primary care paid for each month. It's a monthly charge. And if you take the family plan in option 4, we're going to also pay for your direct primary care for the entire family. It's a really, really good option. If you're talking to employees, you need to point out it's a higher deductible insurance plan because if you take option 4, you're banking on using direct primary care physicians all of the time. And most of the time, unless you have a real issue, that's going to take care of your day-to-day colds and things like that, including prescriptions. But we don't want to offer just direct primary care because you could, for example, have a heart attack. Direct primary care wouldn't take care of you. You could get out and have a very, very serious car accident. Direct primary care wouldn't take care of you. So if you take option 4, you're taking a higher deductible insurance plan with the idea that you're probably not going to use it except for those cases, but you're going to get free direct primary care, which has proven to be really good for those people that do use it. Direct primary care, I understand, does a really good job. And it's also the least costly plan for your family if you want the family plan. In addition to that, we are also going to be doing a payroll deduction for you. Let's say you don't want option 4, you want option 1 or option 2 or option 3, but you want the direct primary care family option. We will payroll deduct it for you. So that means you're going to have to pay for it, but it's payroll deducted, which will be a convenience for a lot of employees. They seem to think that more employees would take the direct primary care, even if they don't take their family plan, if it was payroll deducted. So that's the additional thing. We're doing the payroll deduction on direct primary care if you want it. We're upping the card for HSA from $50 to $65 if you choose that one. And overall, to the taxpayers, a 1% increase then in health care costs. Questions? Yes, sir.
How many family plans do we have?
All total, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah, I knew it wasn't very many, thank you.
8. Well, there's 2 more that have the employee plus. A few years ago, some people were pushing for the employee plus, which was sort of a mistake to even offer, but we offered it and 2 people take it.
Thank you.
It's hard to quit once you offer it because then you're taking something away from someone, but 2 people out of all those people took the employee plus. And your chart that I passed out tells you what I'm talking about. If you go out from family, you'll see a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 2. That's what I totaled together real quick. Sir, you're looking at last year's. That's not the one I passed out. The one in front of you when you sat down is last year's chart. And what we're talking about today, once this is approved, we'll do the whatever you call it in December, and it will take effect January the 1st. Any other questions? Well, you wouldn't specify the options. Stay where we're at for a 1-year renewal at a 1% increase. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but that option 1 is just one of the 4 options that we offer all the time.
I can second that.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second for approval of the insurance plan as presented from the mayor. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I want to say thank you for that. A lot of time has been put into this, but if there are other questions or anything about this that you have, you can ask now or we'll try to answer them later. But do talk to, especially 2 of you are employees. Talk to the employees. Try to get them to come to meetings because we can't make them. I get told that every year, why don't we make them come to meetings? We can't make employees come to the meetings, but they ought to. Then they can ask questions, they can get explanations. The memo will say if you have no changes, you don't have to, which is true, but we still encourage you to come. I know of one person that told me personally one night here that he was doing the buy-up plan so he would be in memorial, and I said, sir, you don't need to do the buy-up plan to be in memorial. He didn't know that because he hadn't come to those meetings. That will hopefully be fixed this year with those phone calls, but encourage people to come. A lot of questions that people have, they wouldn't have if they would just come to those meetings.
Mr. Mayor and Lori, do we need to take a motion to put this on the November the 4th voting session?
Yeah.
Oh, I will vote it Monday. Okay.
It'll
Thank
go
you.
as a recommendation from the committee on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, I got to commend you on one thing. This is phenomenal. You must have really been beating the doors down on Cigna this year because we just got our premium back for my wife's private insurance, and they went up right at $50. So if I'm looking right on this, you somehow got this option 1 at $22 more than what you paid last year. So
It's $9 more.
$9 more. Okay.
Yeah, it went from 733 to 741.
Oh,
Which,
sorry.
you know, anytime you're dealing with insurance, I don't argue with anybody. It's too much.
Yeah.
But I really feel good that 1% is a good renewal. And I have changed. By the way, we did check with the state. I was of the opinion this year if I had a high renewal, I might continue to look at self-funded, but I also was looking at state because the state's starting to get pretty aggressive once again. But their rates, well, it's hard to compare because they're different, but overall their rates were more than us. I met with them last week and they said, what'd you decide? And I said, well, unless you're willing to negotiate down. Of course they can't. And you also have to commit to go with them for 2 years. So they weren't a better option, but we've been with the state 2 or 3 times since I've been here. We've been with Blue Cross a time or 2 since I've been here. So what I was getting to is it's important to county employees not to have to change. So if it's affordable to the taxpayers and we don't have to go through the change, it's not more trouble for us, but the employees just don't like it, like changing. They may like, say, Blue Cross, but they don't like going through the process. And then the next year, Blue Cross will jump back up, and they got to go through the process again. And same thing with state. The state has more options. Their plans really look good. The rates, unless you go with a lesser option, is not there. It's not apples to apples, but they're not there. But then next year they will tweak their plan, and we have no say so in it. I can go back to Cigna or Blue Cross and tweak it to meet our goals as well as the employees. But once you get on the state plan, you can't tweak it. It's what it is. They have some state insurance committee that tweaks it, and they may tweak the benefits down next year, and you're stuck with it for a second year, and you have no say so in it. But we did look at that really a lot this year because I threatened Cigna, I'll go to the state if you don't have a good rate. I was to that point, even though I said I'd never go back to the state. But if they had been really a good rate, I would have at least seriously looked at it. But because a lot of people like it, state's different from schools, but it is similar to schools. You hear people talk about schools, they never bid it because they stay with the state plan all the time. What's offered to local governments is a little bit different, but what they do like about it is you got so many options. But we have 4 options now, so that's pretty good. So I think the employees will be happy. There's always going to be 1 or 2 complaints, of course, but I think the employees will be happy knowing that they don't have to go through a change.
Again, thank you, and like I said, you've done a good job on this.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, anybody else want to speak for the committee? Marlon?
Mayor, you mentioned a few seconds ago that you exercised the quote-unquote option with Cigna. Is that like 1 year? So this time next year, that option isn't available. So this is the last time you can exercise that option.
I'm not sure about that. I think that option will be there next year too. But again, it's usually always there, but we always bid it because we don't get a renewal that's good. If they come in with 10, 12, 15% renewals, even though I didn't have to go to bid, I always have. This year I didn't because they didn't do that.
Real quick.
And Sam's here, by the way, with Cigna.
Just one quick question. I know over in some of us have still private sector, and insurance are really up in their technology. They have the cell app and all that kind of stuff, telemedicine, mental, all these kind of stuff. Can you talk to us a little bit about what Cigna's doing in that realm? I mean, technology, cell phone or apps and all that kind of stuff. You may want to go up there.
The question was about technology in the industry and what Cigna's doing and so forth and so.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We're right up there on the forefront of technology. It's so important in the industry. You pointed to your phone there. We've got everything down on the app now. We have mycigna.com, which you can do on your PC, or you can go on and download the app on your phone, and you can find everything you want. How to find a doctor, what's my deductible, so forth and so on. So there's a lot of technology there. But at the same time, we're also the only carrier that has 24/7, 365 customer service. So we're not abandoning, the people that like to talk to somebody on the phone. It could be Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, 24 hours. So other technology you mentioned, I think you might have mentioned telemedicine.
Yeah, the reason I mentioned that is we took a vacation over in California. Wife was a little ill, and she got on the phone and was with a doctor in Colorado who ordered medicine there in Los Angeles.
Right.
It's pretty neat.
Well, on the technology side, as far as, I guess, a testament to our investment in telemedicine is we bought a number of years ago MD Live. So that is we actually own our own telemedicine product. So everybody in the county who's on this plan has access to telemedicine. So, we're at the forefront of that. You mentioned mental health. We also have telemedicine for mental health. So, and that may be an education thing, you know, that maybe we can highlight in the employee meetings and things just to remind them, but it's there right now for them. There's many other avenues for technology that, you know, we're on the, you know, on the forefront of. And also there's lots of doctors' offices they do their own visits through telemedicine as well. Like, you know, MD Live has its own set of doctors. But, you know, some people aren't able to go into their physician's office and individual physicians. We also allow telemedicine visits that way too. So it's kind of a two-way thing. So,
Very good. I was just interested in that because it's the first time I ever used that little
Yeah.
feature there. That's all. I
yeah,
have.
it's awesome. I mean, you mentioned traveling. It's really handy when
It
you're
was that day,
traveling.
yeah.
Yeah, it can save
all
you
I
a lot
had.
of time.
Thanks.
So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Pam, do you want to say anything? Yeah.
Thank you. Just wanted to tell you thank you, first of all, for your confidence in Cigna and also in my office, my staff, our team. Cigna is very good at their technology, as he just spoke, and our team is also probably as high tech as they come here locally for you and your employees. But one of the other things that we provide that I think is so important that we touched on earlier is about the face-to-face meetings with the employees. Every year we have those enrollment meetings set up for them, so where they can come in and talk to us one-on-one, and it goes very well. And I want to compliment you on still allowing us to do those meetings. A lot of firms, industry, municipalities, they don't have in-person enrollment meetings any longer. Employees have to go online and be able to choose what they want to do for that coming year. So I think it's a wonderful extra benefit, a personal touch for your employees that I think is very special. And we get comments from your employees a lot of times expressing that. So I want to tell you thank you for that. We also meet with every one of your employees. When you hire a new employee, we're the ones that sit down with them one-on-one and help them make their decisions. When you've got 4 different plans to choose from, sometimes it's hard to know what to do. How should they insure their family members or the children? So I think it's really nice for them to be able to have someone who's licensed and experienced and cares about them personally, because we're all neighbors here, and I think it's a great benefit for your employees that maybe is sometimes overlooked a little bit. But thank you very much, and I hope that if you have any other questions for me, please let me know. I want to help in any way that I can. No, I'm over at Insurance Inc. now, yes.
We'll send out letters, but they will have open enrollment dates, several of them, the month of early December. I don't think we've had the dates yet, but they will be soon.
Well, we tentatively set up the enrollment dates later in November.
Okay.
I think it's about the 3rd or 4th week in November. I don't remember exactly, but waiting on, of course, see what you decided that you wanted to do. So, but we do have them set up tentatively.
And the good thing, what she's talking about with new employees do go and get enrolled in person, but then after that, they tend not to come to the annual open enrollments. That's what I was talking about. But they can, and you need to encourage them to all you can.
Commissioner Mason.
I like to thank Pam also I've had employees who'll call me on the phone and say, hey, I'd really like to talk to Pam, and I'll send you a text and say, hey, it's okay if I give them your number. Pam's always helped employees or helped me on any questions that I've had throughout the years. So that's a big kudos, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
for
I
everything
appreciate you
do.
saying that. I think
Absolutely.
I've always had a heart for service, maybe as much or more than sales itself. So it's a pleasure to be able to help your employees. It really is.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else have anything they'd like to say? Okay, we will need them. Yeah, anyone else, communication from the audience? Anybody want to speak? I'll need a motion for adjournment. So much.